Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the grand finals of Atlantic R6 Season 1. I'm Botanic, this is Tom Z. How we doing all to me, Tom?
How are you doing, man? It's been a little bit, but doing all right.
Yeah, and we got a great game on the cards here for tonight for the grand finals. Of course, is Akron, but on the other side, which some people not might not expect in the good year 2025, Kennesaw in a grand final. So we should have the map bands ready and set to go here any second now. But as we can see there, Labs, Club, Lair, Cons out. Akron picking on the Chalet Cafe for the side of Kennesaw. Kennesaw actually taking a good scalp off Cincinnati Red at the very start of the semester on Cafe. Skyscraper out, Bank out, and Border as our decider. Tom, what are your thoughts on those maps?
I think Chalet for Akron is a little bit scary. Kennesaw historically has been a very aggressive program. I think Chalet kind of plays into that a bit more versus maybe like a map where you could have let Labs up or Consulate, but regardless, I think Chalet is still a strong map for Akron. Of course, any map is really a strong map for Akron. We kind of know that, but I think that's a map that I don't love it as a pick. Cafe, it seems that everybody that plays Akron just knows about the one time that Akron lost and want to go to Cafe. Um, don't hate it, right? Um, for the decider though, a border, I really think that if we get to a decider, it's kind of over. To be honest, Akron at border is extraordinarily strong. I mean, me and you both know Plexios really well. He loves border like his entire life. So I'm not a huge fan of border being allowed through. But regardless, it'll be up to Kennesaw to deny Akron from adding yet another Infinity Stone to that gauntlet, yet another league.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to stop them. And if good old Mine Hayden is making a grand final in the year 2025, it might be late, but a resurgence is a resurgence nonetheless. But we should be ready to get into this game any second now. Akron versus Kennesaw over on Chalet. There we go. And what do you think the bands are going to be here, Tom?
For Akron, I think it's honestly probably going to be a shield. It might be the Blackbeard, to be honest. From Kennesaw, I honestly really couldn't tell you. It might be something more utility oriented. We like to see Akron, play very like coordinated and thought out, and they take forever and ever and ever, and then they set up and they finally go for their execute. Maybe some sort of like Grim ban I could see happening, but it will be the Blackbeard. Okay, I think we kind of figured Akron might ban that out, so maybe we just lose another shield here. Maybe we only have the Monty up this game. We've seen Akron be able to deal with like fast and aggressive plays before. It'll be the Ying instead. Okay, that coincides with wanting to stop the aggression you may see from Kennesaw. Some of the cheese they may break out. We have seen teams try that style before against Akron. But Akron is very much prepared. They run a lot of utility, run a lot of Fenrir, Azami, Malusi. So I
Yeah,
would
no,
imagine Kennesaw wants to take one of those away. The Miraban is also, of course, extremely strong on Chalet, but I think you really want to deny Akron just like the base level utility that makes them so strong.
yeah, no, of course. We have seen some gaps in Akron's armor, specifically on maps like Chalet, like Cafe, via the virtue of a team like Cumberland. We saw that the rounds that did manage to get off Akron were off very fast pocket plays. And with the banning of Ying, there goes a huge piece of utility towards that fast style of plays. And Clash also being banned out is pretty interesting.
It is interesting. I mean, I like the concept, right? We're already like gassing it up as if like Kennesaw's gonna come out here guns a blazing, hyper aggressive. I think banning the Clash is almost the wrong play there, because you have to deal with so much else. We've seen Akron run the Clash before, right? On basement, especially for their wine hold. They'll do like the boiler rotate and then stack a Clash on top of it. We've seen that before. Maybe Kennesaw's done their homework and that's possibly why, but we'll just have to see. And anyway, Kennesaw has to start on defense here, opting to go top floor. Against a team like Akron, you'd really like to see them contest the map here. Because it's just if you give Akron map control right, and especially on like Chalet, and they get full, highway control, big window, canine, and the breach open, there's not a ton you can really do, right? So they're gonna really have to fight for these early picks if they want to stop the machine that is Akron Esports.
course, an unstoppable machine, having a LAN later this week at the Playfly Tournament of Champions. So they're obviously looking to collect some online chips before collecting their national chip. But to start off, Plexio's going out via a spawn peak to good old Swivel.
That's the Nomad as well, so this aggression will be allowed to continue for the remainder of the round if Kennesaw chooses to go with it. Interestingly enough, multiple players below rather than actually holding library.
Yeah, it does seem like Space finds himself downstairs or by a big car garage, maybe looking to get any roam out of the way. But in the meantime, Jobu going to be taking good care of those castle barricades, lining up highway. But Space even thinks about trying to go up Westmate. Sword Terra is waiting in the ropes with the Mossberg in hand. But so far, we arrive at the 2 minute mark and not much going on at all from the side of Akron. They all seem pretty spread out. Only now is Space just deploying his drone over by basement side. Whether it catches Sortera or not, who knows? But a gunfight ensues as Space finally makes the vert over by Solar. But it is Swivel, able to survive, able to claim another pick. And Kennesaw with a very strong 5v3 situation going into the minute 30 mark, Tom.
Strong situation indeed, and it looks like Kennesaw was very much ready for this solar take from the side of Akron. We've seen this before in the likes of CR6 Grand Finals and some other leagues as well, so might just be a case of getting a little bit stale. That being said, Sotera does get traded out, but I mean, unless something crazy happens, this round is all but over.
Yeah, of course, Sortera going down does add a potential gap. We're by that Solar side. If you give anybody on Akron a 1v1, and especially a hard yellow ping, it could definitely open things up. But Kablooey does find Kosa. Good on the DMR. Still exposed with that yellow ping, but it's only Jet and Jobu left to try and secure anything. In this 2 versus 4 situation, less than a minute left, they have accurate pings on where Kablooey is, but Kablooey's holding his own very well. Over by the dining side, Jobu falls. It all lands on Jet right now. Not much ammo left for Kablooey, but he's being shot from all sides, Jet, and it is Swivel to close things out.
Strong opening from Kennesaw, the opening pick off of a spawn peak, and Akron just really never had a foothold in the map. Botanic. I mean, they got him below. They started working the vert. Space left the lobby, but
Oh damn, it's over.
it's over. Mental's
You know,
shocked already.
you
SSG
want to know a fun
SSG timeout.
fact? You want to know a fun fact about Swivel?
Sure.
Apparently, he used to go to UC back in 2021. Even at his dad even is a professor here.
I mean, that really speaks to how well you market UC esports. Really,
Apparently, Joseph Darkmatter did kind of don't know all back in the day.
what a shame.
What a shame. We lost Sigma Boy Swivel. But don't worry, I trust Mine Hyden's taking good care of the shop.
Just a little bit of a delay, folks, as we have lost one of the Akron Zips, but anyway, looking back at that round again, they just never really had a foothold. I think Kennesaw definitely did their homework right. Just it looked like they were very much prepped. We talk about contesting the map, right? Well, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, they got a hold library, but they no, they're ready. They're ready for this, below and trophy take. So that's good on them to be prepared. Now, as we go later into the game and Akron start adapting, right, and they realize like, okay, Kennesaw knows about that. Let's do something else. Is Kennesaw going to be able to change with the tides, right? That's really like, what determines, a good defending team, a good attacking team. Can you see what's been put in front of you, see how they played, and correct yourselves?
I mean, obviously, I think the answer is going to be yes for a team like Akron. They there's a reason why they swept every other league. There's a reason why they've only lost once this entire semester. They've encountered many different foes of many different shapes and sizes, many different depths of playbooks. They've been pushed to the edge multiple times by different teams, whether it be your Fishers, your Cumberlands, your Utahs. I mean, Akron is well experienced, and by all means, they should be able to bounce back from a little bit of a setback like losing the first round.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, like we obviously have full confidence in Akron, right? But I'm talking more on the side of Kennesaw, where if they're gonna progress in the game, right? If they're gonna make this a competitive game, which we've seen basically everybody struggle with, they have to be able to, switch up their holds, like, counter the counter basically, if you get what I'm saying. Think 3 steps in advance of like, okay, guys, they did solar this time. They're probably doing, library this time. We're going for some sort of rush this time. You have to be like mentally prepared and aware of those type of things. But
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think right now they're just swinging. They're just swinging as hard as they can. Really, what strategical depth was there that round other than Swivel going huge? You know?
oh, I agree. It's just I'm saying the overall setup was completely geared for solar.
Hmm.
Would be cool if Akron's fifth geared up his game and came back.
True.
But in the meantime, we can make
Space
fun of
could
Swivel
space could
for
gear up a lot of things, really, like his height.
okay. Anyway, we can make fun of Swivel for not having a matching background as his teammates. Boo.
True. Boo. How's your day been, Tom? Oh no, never mind. There's all in. I don't care about your day, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you're just doing that to chalk time. You don't really care anyway.
Yeah, I kind of hate you. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know.
Thank God. Anyway, second round of the cards, and we'll be going over to kitchen dining. Nice little castle set up to be brought. Presumably, majority of those landing upstairs. Maybe gonna be cutting off big window, looking directly into owl.
What I don't love here from Kennesaw is the absence of info ops, right? No Valkyrie, she's been banned, of course, but we're not running. There's no Maestro, there's no Echo. Um, Ozzy's not necessarily, that meta, so I understand, but no Legion, Fenrir's available. All kind of basic. They obviously like Tube Kaid, right? They want to stall. They want to stall Akron out, but Akron's able to pinch from so many different avenues that I don't really know if that's the right approach. We'll have to see, but a little bit interesting here to kind of miss out on the info ops.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, really, the only bit of information they get is if River manages to throw a tube row at the right location on the ceiling and sees those footsteps, can then chain it with the C4. But as per Kennesaw fashion that we've been able to see so far in this one round of play, they're just going to be getting information off whatever gunfights they get. Seems right now, Akron wanting to play a little bit more patient, Plexio's playing a little bit more careful, just waiting for Kennesaw to swing first, and arguably not a bad choice at all. It is River spotting a drone coming from that library side, so he can already assume the space has been taken quickly. A space himself already making his way down those main steps, just trying to hunt for anything. It is very good drone work so far from the side of Akron.
Bringing the buck below. Kennesaw is so far succeeding in stalling out Akron. That being said, they're losing the mirror window. The skeleton key is going off. Kai stick soon to follow, but only a minute 38 left in the round, and no gun on gun action.
A little bit early on that two brow canister. However, immediately shot by the side of space, and two let a rip immediately as that seemingly that main breach does get open, forces River to reposition. And from K9 door, Kosa managed to shut down River, who overstayed his welcome. Jet doubling up as well into Mine Hiden, and Swivel not able to recover the fallen at all. That C4 from Kablooey does not hit the mark, and a minute left remaining. Sortera going to be rotating back up to see if he can try and tip the scales, even if it is just by one pick, pushing into the bathroom. But it's littered by bees from Plexios. In the meantime, Kablooey in the bomb site being pressured from the vertical. Sortera now spotted, lose the gunfight to Plexios, and Kablooey down to a knife. Oh, Assassin's
Oh,
Creed.
drop comes in at the end. I mean, that's just a classic Akron round, Botanic. That's a classic Akron round of taking minute and 30 seconds. It looks like nothing's happening. They get all set up. Utility starts going out, and then the entire other team just dies. One after another, they just fall like dominoes. For Kennesaw, it's just they didn't really get any gunfights that were tradable, right? Like they lose the two brow on half wall, not really tradable. No one's holding like K9. They lose the player piano, no one's really helping him, untradeable. Now it's a 5v3 and you're forced to flank and retake, which is fairly predictable, right? So, I mean, really there they did a good job of, using the tube Kaid effectively enough. And the setup was fine. It's just they weren't tradable at all. Complete one for ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, River just overstaying his welcome way too much. And Kennesaw, I mean, a sheer contrast from the previous round, they played it so passively. They were very scared. I mean, Space, as soon as he got free reign on the downstairs, that wall was free game. I mean, not even anybody wanted to lurk by 45, draw some attention over by bar side. Those Akron drones just got in, got the space, got the information, and everything just kind of collapsed for Kennesaw from there on out.
They're opting to go back to kitchen? I don't know if that's necessarily the play after such a strong showing from Akron, but we shall see. It looks like a little bit of a different setup here from Akron. They do know that Sotera is flanking in the basement as Mira. Doesn't look like anyone is in a position to act on it just yet. Maybe opting to switch for a solar take here, possibly from Akron. Just taking time to assess the map, assess the hold. But no physical action just yet. As I say that, so she gets in a gunfight with the player in bar. I believe that is Sotera.
I do like the change of play here from Kennesaw, getting a lot more active over in the early stages of the round. That is Soitera, it is Mine
Oh,
Hayden, able to escape in just the nick of time. Soitera actually still lurking by, placing a mirror window mid-round. It might encounter Jet. What is going on there? But anyway, Jet gonna be finding the first pick of the round via Soitera's 200 IQ play. Now going to be focusing his attention more towards the main office wall. River going to be taking a tag, but so does Jet. Now he finds himself in an awkward situation. However, Swivel onto Plexios equalizes the mount count situation here, Tom.
4v4 again, just slowly progressing, waiting for some sort of execute to come out, but no execute can come until the top floor is secured for Akron. That being said, the wall gets, hello, wall gets open. Awkward gunfight with River. Spaces take him out though.
He's mine hiding, left limping, but still left standing with a pretty strong gun, looking directly into K9 door. That office breach is now open. Swivel with a little bit of a fort, or by that owl's side. Mine hiding, only reinforcing his own position by master bedroom. 40-second left on the clock. Kennesaw looking strong in the time department, but it only takes one pick to open up the situation for Akron. But speaking of picks, it is Sigma Boy Swivel onto JetCon, as he'll be tucking directly into the bathroom, and the punch holes works really well.
Oh,
And my God, Swivel! 3 for the round. 3 is all it took for him to claim another round for the Owls.
the Owls do claim another round. Multiple goofy engagements. We saw the two brow run completely in front of the buck below. We saw a mirror window get put out mid-round, and then finally the last gunfight coming out on a hip fire. But well played by Swivel right there, especially going to that sneaky little punch hole on bathroom window. I mean, that late round was all him, but Akron kind of just all over the place. Botanic, they didn't really have like a central direction. I felt like that round. Um, but again, Kennesaw is benefiting from playing aggressive, like we kind of alluded to. That's really, their bread and butter historically. This program has always been an extremely aggressive team, and to mess up a strong, thinking, calculated utility team, you kind of have to do some goofy stuff like that. Not saying to place a mirror window middle of a round, of course, but
I mean, it might be a circus, but at least it's entertaining.
5 minutes left.
But Kennesaw, very strong second round in response to Akron's dominant take of that kitchen dining bomb site. Now we move to master bedroom office, and the man of the hour here so far, Swivel, is going to be on a bit of an initial roam. I'm assuming he's going to be planting himself firmly by his favorite power position, Solar. A space, once again, making his way very quickly through that main car garage.
Space is in below, and it looks like only. Oh, okay, there's the mute. So Kennesaw once again contesting below in kitchen dining. Again, just wasting time. Not too much of a setup to really talk about for below. It looks like just two completely dry bodies of Kablooey and Sotera. Jobu getting set up to hold this bathroom window and the bathtub from far. Looks like he may try to hold this from top of the roof. But again, no map control really for Akron yet. Sun's going out on the solar player. Firebolts to follow, but how are they going to remove him? There's no one below.
He does manage to dodge the fire on the opposite side this time. Space, just waiting for a target to peek him. Just waiting very patiently over by this big car garage position. Once again, the asphyxiation bolt flies but missed the intended target. They're going to need to find a different way to clear out Swivel. At the very least, this time round, Akron does find that initial man advantage pick over onto Shiver. We've seen how not afraid Swivel is to swing things. Could be anticipating a possible Space just lurking down below, watching the vert. Now,
All he has to do is sit still. Swivel is in the perfect position here. Huge gunfight here. If Kablooey can take out the Sabana and alleviate that below pressure, I mean, there's really no way to move Swivel other than some sort of double repel, right?
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, minute less than a clock here, and Akron, despite having the man advantage, really have no space at all, Tom. Could be getting a little bit concerning, as Meinheiden seeming to have some aggressive intentions. But Space finally taking down Kablooey. And now this opens up the entire West Main side. However, Sortera has something to say as Space falls, but he's instantly traded out. I mean that's Meinheiden going out. So now absolute man advantage for the side of Akron, and then just run around directly into the bomb site, and well, Swivel can't stand much longer after that.
Play of the game so far, the Habana finding the gap bathroom, realizing the hold is once again mostly concentrated below. They can't clear this guy's solar steps because they have no map control. He finds a gap, opens it up in bathroom, takes out Meinheiden, and then the player's solar steps is just completely trapped, right? He's cut off from the bomb site, and his teammates are falling one by one. Massive play right there from Zosha, and that's the equalizer. We're back at 2-2. Akron strong on both sides, but knowing how they, set up defensively with all that utility, you'd like to see Kennesaw get, 4-2 here. 3-3 kind of still leans toward Akron. You'd like to see them take the next two if they're going to keep going in this map.
Absolutely. I mean, Kennesaw, not necessarily the team anybody expected to be in the grand finals here, but if they want to even challenge the King somewhat, they're getting to claim as many rounds as they can. They're getting to push whatever plan they have as far as they can. So far, that seems to be a walking plan in the form of Swivel. I mean, his impact this game is absolutely undeniable so far, Tom.
I agree, and Swivel is absolutely playing this well. But look at that round compared to, say, their master defense earlier, or their kitchen defense, where they're in gunfights that weren't, tradable at all. Yes, Zosha hit a gap and made a great play, and that's why Akron won. But Kennesaw, okay, well, that's another spawn peek. Swivel finds Jet, as I was about to talk about, how intellectually correct they played that round, but looks like another spawn peek goes out. That's the Twitch gone. Not a huge impact on the utility this round, considering there's nothing that he can really Twitch drone besides a few ADSs, but I believe that was all the way in spawn on top of the rock. Yes, it was, I believe. I don't see the icon, but anyway, Swivel's gone, so equalized again. From the hero of last round, Zosha trying to clear this player out of death corner. He will get fired off by Jobu. Didn't get any of his stims off, it appears, or maybe ill-placed, but...
A little bit odd right there from Meinheiden.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting death. We'll have to see that one later, but... Anyway, Akron just getting all set up. Again, not much map control yet, but they have multiple avenues to pressure, just kind of assessing what to do. Good utility play, pretty standard here from Akron. Not a ton Kennesaw can really do here. There's nothing to really get aggressive on, considering Akron hasn't even entered the map yet.
Yeah, but they are doing their due diligence with all this utility they're all lurking about. Plexios, it worked so far, just getting rid of that top Ivy shield. Now that gives Space basically a lot of leeway to work with. Over by office side, just going to be breaching that main office wall in an attempt to try and isolate River. High top Mez, his shield also falls. We're approaching a minute on the clock here, Tom. It's not impossible for Kennesaw, but another pick right about now would definitely go in their favor. But the opposite happens as Kosa just lurking up those basement stairs now directly into the bomb site. Is going to be defuse going down.
Oh.
River does spot him, but Space takes care of it. And another round for the Zips, as Kosa, a beautiful entry straight into the bomb site, seals the deal.
Kosa is really excelling at finding gaps. He finds another one that round, right? The entire hold is really focused on upstairs for Kennesaw. Yes, a couple players got cleared out, but they still had, the player top blue. That was the Frost. They had the Warden playing top mez. And Kosa just finds his way up snow steps into Bar Botanic, and everything falls apart from there for Kennesaw. Little bit interesting to see the hatch not opened up from top blue to really deny that bar door entry. But regardless,
Attackers need to
Kosa's just
locate and
finding
defuse
gaps, finding these entries. And there's another round for Akron.
Akron, once again, taking the lead here, but Kennesaw still able to tie this up 3-3 apiece. And despite the 1-1 record right now, I kind of trust them going over to Kitchen Dining for their last bomb site defense of this first half.
I mean, off of the back of Swivel, they did win this before. It looks like this is going to be a quick one, Botanic, from the operator switches we're seeing right here. But before we get into that, Kennesaw, 0 changes in their op lineup, I believe. Looks pretty much identical to what they ran before. Kind of what I was alluding to earlier of like, okay, you ran this, it worked, but now what? Because they're going to adapt and change what they're doing. Obviously, Akron's changing what they're doing. This one's going to be quick. Kosa on the shotgun with Amaru. Looks like he may go below for this trophy hatch. Plexios again on the Grim, super strong operator. Sends most likely to cut off trophy steps.
I'm
Just
hoping
waiting for the
that
setup.
I'm hoping that instant line call gave Kennesaw a hint of something that could be coming, as Kosa is prepping himself to go through that basement hatch like you mentioned before, space. Just getting a nice little pre-placed drone, seeing that West Main is completely clear right now. Could be Kennesaw in for a rude awakening any second right now, Tom.
It doesn't look like Kennesaw's right into this yet. There's still multiple players playing top mez and office. Only one player in sight. Yes, there's a player on solar steps, but he's cut off from trophy window. Just waiting for this execute to go out. Akron hesitating a little bit, possibly waiting for Jet to get in position here on this Lurk 45. Will he find that Kaid of Kablooey? Oh, so close, almost. Execute is going out though. Kosa's in with the shotgun, looking for the player solar steps. He'll find him. There goes the Mira. Space with another. 5v3 for Akron.
Yeah, just Soitera, no clue at all. The Zips had already invaded by Trophy side, and Jet with an incredible backstab only leaves Meinheiden, the captain, left standing. Nothing to be done. A flawless, quick round for the Zips as they lead 4-2 after the first blood.
I know what you're gonna say, but you really just have to compliment Akron, right? You really have to look at it of like how much info they get, how coordinated they are. They play at a level that's obviously, they made T2, right? But they're playing at a level that is far and above what we've seen in collegiate in quite some time, or at least have currently been seeing from other teams. That's not a knock on Kennesaw, of course. It's just Akron has been playing completely out of their minds. And look at that. If you're, a newer or inexperienced Siege player, trying to learn, watch Akron play, because these guys do everything coordinated. They went for a rush, and it was all coordinated. They were waiting for a Jet to be in a position for Lurk. Then the Senses went out. Then the Amaro goes in. Then the Lion Call comes out, and they're all ready to converge on the bomb site at once. That is great coordination from Akron, and you don't see that from a lot of teams these days.
I mean, a lot of teams just lack a very depth to their playbook, especially a lower non-premier team like Kennesaw. You want to stick with exactly what you did if it worked against a team like Akron. You don't really have the depth to think about, okay, what now,
Oh, I completely understand, but we still have to sit here and, look at it and, think like, okay, guys, we did this, they did that, what's next? That's kind of how you improve as a team. And, they still have the rest of the series to do that as they switch sides. Now, Kennesaw will go on the attacking side, which I honestly think favors Akron quite a bit, just from what we've seen in the past. Again, how much utility they play. Being said, Spaces on the Alibi, kind of a weird pick. Alibi, not too popular nowadays, just doesn't really provide anything. Of course, with the changes to all the scopes, Alibi 1.5 having been gone for a considerable amount of time, her pick rate completely tanked.
It's more so just a flirtatious pick,
Finnig floaty.
Floaty.
Oh,
Meinheiden not floating, he's actively sinking, as Kosa will be finding that first pick of the round. Don't really expect to see the mirror roaming so aggressively. And no one in the backup line hiding as he was completely isolated, but flashbangs flying the way of Plexios. No one able to act on the space so far. Plexios ducking back and forth, eventually does fall by that mezzanine side. However, an instant trade by Jet and Space. Good for 2, but not the third. Puts Kablooey in a 1 versus 3. And at 30 left on the clock. Does know Jet is down below. That's where the 2-barrel canister came from. And they're looking to get aggressive on him. They do have the exact yellow ping on his position, but they keep feeding him kills. Could be another kill fed to him. This could be an easy 1v1 if Kosa over-aggresses. He does end up falling. But it is Jobu waiting for him in the wings over by those main steps. The default camera finally falls. And a moment of respite for Kablooey. As both Jobu and Kosa reunite in the bomb site, Tom.
Reunited in the bomb site they haven't. Diffuser is still upstairs. Kablooey doesn't have a ton of info to work with, other than knowing one player is likely still in sight. 50 seconds left. He'll have to pull off a miracle here. Not a ton to work with. Sorry. Not a ton to really work with, considering, nothing's been open. Both exothermics in pocket. No hatches have been open. The breach hasn't been open, so he'll have to funnel down either blue or snow steps, most likely. Inside of 30 seconds, he really has to move if he wants any chance of winning this round. A little bit of paranoia, trying to hit peek everything. It's going to be up to Akron to hold across here and just not give him any one-on-ones, but Kablooey's wasting so much time. It's been almost a full minute, and he hasn't moved yet.
Now going to the mouth of the beast. Unfortunately, not ready for Kosa's different position. By the main breach. A 5th round going towards the Zips, Tom.
5th round indeed. And, I mean, they're from Kennesaw. They just completely played into Akron's hold, right? They just tried to go for the library clear, but, the thermites, the one kind of clearing. The thermite's not below to get anything open. I don't know if they honestly thought the site was, somewhere else or kind of what happened there, but the take was just very, disjointed from a third-person point of view. Outside of that, Akron just doing a great job again, playing trades, playing around the utility they have, and once the man count got kind of evened out, they got a little trolly. We saw that round kind of close. I believe it was a 1v3. But beyond that, just retreating to the bomb site and holding across. That's all he really needed to do.
Yeah, and I'm kind of interested to see how Kennesaw wants to adapt right now to what Akron's bringing on the table. We did see Mine Hiding trying going quick and fast, but unfortunately it was a very solo effort, instantly taken down by Kosa, and well, we're really going to see some more teamwork from the side of Kennesaw.
We are, and it's just about making the right read. Akron, of course, has, all these setups that we've, they've shown them before, right? But it's just, can you beat them? Can you counter these setups? And looks like we may be getting another fast round as a lion call goes off spawn. Kind of like the idea of maybe going for a bit faster takes, because Kennesaw doesn't really perform too well when they're trying to go for these, more methodical, planned out, crosses. Okay, we'll pinch this guy, then what? Then we'll progress. Always in the past, Kenesaw's excelled, quick hits, playing around shields, that type of thing. The Ying Band does, of course, hurt them for that playstyle, but
At least a little bit of good information gained from that drone from Kennesaw's second line call will be flying out. It is Jet briefly spotted over on that jump out. But Space, a lot of damage over by the solar side. Jet finally falls to a Claymore of all things. And now Swivel, the hero so far, finding a good pick, but Kosa with 2 in turn. The situation instantly resets. And now another man advantage for the side of Akron. Plexios not afraid to get aggressive either. Down goes Swivel.
Swivel, the top frag for Kennesaw, gone, but story of this round has to be the trades, right? Instantly for Akron. 2 players fall, Nitro goes off from Kosa. Even man count, Plexios is already outside, man advantage secured, and now Kennesaw has completely stalled. Main Hiding stuck on Solar Repel, disconnected from Kablooey, who I'm not quite sure where he is, but these two will have to link together if there's any hope in winning this round, trying to earn a pick back and pick up that case, which is stuck in top Solar.
course, no better duo to do this. Kablooey, Mine Hide, and you know these two have known each other since middle school.
I did not know that. Thank you for all these Kennesaw Owls fun facts you've been providing us with today.
Yeah, I have many fun facts indeed, but will be more fun will be to see Kennesaw showing us the magic here of now finally Kablooey a foothold into that top floor, knowing Bathan is clear. Not really that much time, that much utility available to clear the rest of it out. One phone call to the pocket of Kablooey, Meinheiden all out of line calls himself. Well, 40 seconds on the clock. They're getting to throw caution to the wind here, Tom. And just go for it, Jet. Tucked over by that Harry Potter's side. And it is Kosa also waiting in the wings. EMP's flying out. Last call flying out from Kablooey. But how is Kennesaw going to trade this? They do find the first, but Meinheiden does go down. Available for the res, sure. But 15 seconds left. Akron just going to play on top of each other's bodies. But the Fenrir Mine at the worst possible second does take down Meinheiden. Does take down Kablooey. Meinheiden left standing. Kosa, well, an easy kill for him. Just ducking and weaving with that broken mirror window.
Bob and weave he did. Akron is just playing at a completely different level right now. This is why, we joke about them, collecting the Infinity Stones of all these collegiate leagues. Look at that round right there. Like we said, trades. Instantly. Late round, zero panic. They're set up in position to trade. They have the Fenrirs, they have the utility, which is something we didn't really see from Kennesaw setups, right? They have, Fenrirs available, Azami, Malusi, and they didn't really bring any of it, and that's kind of the difference. How many times do we see people, get Fenrir mined that round? I could tell you at least 3, at least 4, right? So it's just, stuff like that. Jobu and Jet almost had an awkward moment for that poor Mozzie pass. But anyway, that's just the difference, right? Kennesaw in their setups, not bringing enough utility. Akron pretty much only run utility. I say that this round they have, not a ton, right? Just the Azami, but 6-2 scoreline. Looks like Akron will be taking this one and moving on to Cafe.
Map's not over, buddy.
Map is not actually over. I was talking hypothetical, my bad, but
It does feel like it somewhat, but
it feels like it's over. It's not,
Yeah.
but it feels like it is.
it's not. And with Sotera going on the blitz, you very much see the intentions of a bit of a Hail Mary. A yellow ping directly over on that rank star window tells you exactly what Kennesaw has in the cards. And now, it's just a matter to see how they execute on it. According to the X-ray, we don't really see... Oh, no, actually, there is plenty of Akron defenders up top. But fortunately, Sortera does manage to dodge. But from the vert, he absolutely gets chewed up. However, Kablooey with the refrag case, he's to go down, but River going down, so does Kablooey. Now Meinheiden and the rest of Kennesaw in a prison of their own creation. However, 2 more picks fly the way of the Owls, and only Swivel left. And he's down, and that's the map over.
It was a fun end to the map. Going back on it, we've seen that exact situation play out before from Akron. That just kind of tells you how ready they are for these type of rushes. We've seen them, counter Cumberland doing that, pretty much that exact take, right? We've seen them play against it before, so they're completely ready for it. So, well played to Akron. That's all you can really say. It's a valiant effort from Kennesaw, but Akron just much better on Chalet, it appears.
Yeah, we got to see what they did to Cumberland in CR6 playoffs. I think it was also a 7-2 score, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
7-2 or 7-3.
7-2 or 7-3, one of those. Kennesaw, lots of a very hot start, not gonna lie. Swivel especially was playing incredible to begin with, but Akron just kind of cracked the code later on, and Kennesaw really not the depth required to tussle like a titan like Akron, at least on Chalet. Moving on to their map pick a cafe, I'm hoping to see some more material from the Owls, but we'll get to see that after the break.
That's my money pin. Don't flex fake pay. No. Check me take these wins. Flashing like a cheesecake. Got a shiny grid. Money wide like a cape. I don't fuck with crepes. What's a dim, mate? Eating 40K steak off a gold plate. Got green, red, blue money, and it ain't fake. I said green money, red money, blue money. Wait, it's a green, red, blue money getting kinda day. Tell me if I overstep Prozac. Might just make a racket and then I spend it on a plaque. I need that bag, make sure it's big. I don't do trick, I don't do math, but I can sure as hell tell when the bag is looking thick. If the money be a race and I'm pumping at the pace, if I break my leg from running it, I'll cop a golden brace. If it's girls see my waist, yeah, straight to first base. And these zeros give me faith, let me put you in your place. You a comma, all you do is cause a little bit of that drama. I'm a bougie ass go bitch, call me llama. Tell me on my body while I'm flexing in Bahama. Looking for an Africa, gotta think about guala. Green money, red money, blue money, bitch. Green money, red money, blue money, bitch. Green money, red money, blue money, bitch. Hey, I ain't think I got complaints. Yeah, I feel it steady, got my money where I wanted it to be. I can't complain, I just got bumped into a first class seat. Is this flight attendant really tryna hit on me? I don't know, maybe it's a possibility that I smash 14 hours on the flight that will not pass up ass. Find me on an island daydreaming about the cash. Foreign money, yeah, I got it. Lots of rain, lots of sun, that's a rainbow. Check my wallet. I got green money, red money, blue money, bitch. Green money, red money, blue money, bitch. Green money, red money, blue money, bitch. It's baby no money. Yeah, honestly, I'm high as a bitch. I got one shit left to give. I got two hella bad legs with tip. Big old bucks for a tip. I got four bling bling roadie with the wrist. Yeah, 5 new ladies in my DMs. What I do seems like everything I dream of comes true. They are like not for me. They use astrology. That game crazy, need to look out to me. Then I took her on a date, catastrophe. Yeah, I'm sorry that I bust quick, it's not up to me. I got married to the money matrimony. No problem, no problem. Got the keys in the car, in the front for the whip, in the back. Yeah, her ass that bar. Have you seen it? No, I haven't. Do you want it? Cause I do. Baby girl, I wanna do. So I think the hook's about to come back on in right now. I got one shit left to give. I got two hella bad legs with tip. Big old bucks for a tip. I got four bling bling roadie with the wrist. Yeah, 5 new ladies in my DMs. What I do seems like everything I dream of comes true. They are like not for me. They use astrology. Where is all my money? In the bank where it should be. Trust me, yeah, I'm good with my money. Stash it all away, I'm baby, no money. Check, 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 my flow out. Check, 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 steady big now. Baby, you so sick, sick, sick. Yeah, I'm running at a beat. Oh shit, shit, shit. Usually I make a bridge right here, but you know, today I wasn't really feeling it. I got one shit left to give. I got two hella bad legs with tip. Big old bucks for a tip. I got four bling bling roadie with the wrist. Yeah, 5 new ladies in my DMs. What I do seems like everything I dream of comes true. They are like not for me. They use astrology.
Yo, why the fuck you steal this? Why the
Hey, no one does it better. I'll admit it. Cocky under pressure. I'll admit it. Oops, I changed the weather. I'll admit it, baby.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to Map 2 of the AtlanticR6 Season 1 Grand Final. Akron Esports versus the Kennesaw Owls here. Over on Cafe Dostoevsky. Map 1, not really that favorable for Kennesaw, going the way 7-2 of Akron. Even despite a hot Kennesaw start. Now we move on to Cafe. Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing the same as you've asked me the last 2 times, the same question.
Alright, dude, I don't need the stats from you. What the hell? What the flip?
Nah, I'm tired of you.
Oh, what the hell? Are we beefing?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate you. I've always hated you. I want to rip you apart like in half, like Homelander.
Okay. That's a bit graphic for the AtlanticR6 stream, but anyway.
We all know AtlanticR6 is for the ages of 13 to 17.
Prime viewing age for the boys.
Of course. Anyway,
Blackbeard ban again, basically exactly what we saw in Chalet. Blitz ban going out. That being from Kennesaw is a little interesting because we saw them whip it out in the later round. They're trying to, fight for their lives on map point. So, this might just be all shields, Botanic. We've lost 3 of the shields. But anyway, Cafe is not really a shield intensive map, kind of either way with the Clash or with the Blitz or BB. So that's a little bit odd to see. The Valk ban makes a ton of sense. Literally, the entire map is made out of wood, indestructible. But from Kennesaw here, it's just going to be about we know they can get the early rounds, right? It's just going to be, can it progress? Can they, learn and adjust and move forward and, make the game competitive throughout? You want to see them be able to compete and adapt and, come up with interesting stuff and counters as the game progresses. We know Akron can do it. We just saw it, but can, Kennesaw whip that out here to, keep the dream alive?
We're against a Titan like Akron, you're getting to hold up, you're getting to hold on to any bit of hope you can. Cafe, seemingly that piece of hope with Kennesaw and Owls, but Akron starting on the defense with how much Swivel spawn peak on Chalet makes you think Akron might be going for a little bit of revenge here. Might be trying to drag Kennesaw through whatever bit of mud is left in this series. Tom, what do you think of the operator lineup so far for Akron?
Pretty standard. From the side of Kennesaw, they like to go for like a lot of, quick hits. So of course, love the Fenrir, love the Malusi, love the Pulse for early info. I don't necessarily think Coast is going to get a Nitro playoff unless Kennesaw does opt to go for a full top floor clear. But I think that's really just for, the early information of like, hey, what are they doing? Are they going for some sort of rush? We just 7-2'd them. We know how they like to play. Akron's all about, being prepared for the crazy stuff, being, doing your homework on a team, kind of knowing what they do. And we saw that adjustment last map. I'm expecting, a similar result here.
It's going to be Kelso with that early info, like you mentioned. Slots at least a very good chunk of people heading towards the roof, and might have gotten tagged through the vert with the scalpel, maybe. But Swivel can be taking care of these windows, and it is Kosa with a very large target on his screen. Maybe even waiting for just a moment to get aggressive right now. Swivel just keeps on depleting his ammo straight into the wall. 2 minutes left on the clock here. So far, nothing out of the ordinary over by Pixel's side. Akron playing this one very passively as Mine Hyden and Co. going to be making their way over by Cigar Shop.
Made in a Cigar Shop. The Nitro does go out from Kosa. Completely one-dimensional take from Kennesaw. That gets shut down. Swivel types boom as he has exploded, but Kennesaw now just completely stalling the Cigar side of the map. They don't really have a ton going for them here. Space finds another one. Jet on a run out, and it's just up to Ripper. Probably not shivering inside this 1v1. Look like Akron really knows where he is. May get 1 or 2. Never mind. Jobu's just prone behind the toilet with a shotgun on this Hypertruck Hollow. But extremely strong opener from Akron. Kennesaw, a little bit of a silly round. They're kind of trolling around in the all chat, just kind of having fun. But looking at it from an analytical perspective, they don't really have much of a setup to speak of. They're not playing really, any window pressure from heaven. There's no one outside on white for Gen. They're just kind of letting, Akron do exactly whatever they want, really. They're not in a position to really punish anything. Yes, the Nitro collected too. But Kennesaw's not, anywhere else. They don't really have any, general, plan to pinch and coordinate.
Yeah, I mean, with how map 1 went, I wouldn't be surprised if Kennesaw is just in a very trolly mood, like you mentioned, but that was a pretty big blunder right there, just sending 2 people straight in through that ticket window when CS was very much available from what it seemed to just drop in safely.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Yeah, looks like Kennesaw may be just having some fun with this game.
5 seconds left.
You hate to see, a team just completely, give up, right? But against Akron, yeah, you kind of can't blame people sometimes. I know that's extraordinary glaze, but Akron's just so strong and so dominant in collegiate. It's kind of tough to really do anything, right?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you just gotta have fun with it sometimes. It is gonna be Soitera setting up a nice little claymore by that bottom white door, just in case somebody like Jackon does get aggressive once again, but they seem to be taking this round a little bit more seriously. They're just following the protocols right now. surprised that top red wall is soft and none of it got blown up by the Ash Charge with space with the pocket shot. He on the Sortera. All right. That's one of the man advantages of all time, and Mine and crippling, but not out just yet.
Yeah, again, Kennesaw just completely one-dimensional. Another Fortnite pump goes out from Jobu. Kennesaw has completely stalled once again, giving it both the opening picks. Jobu waiting patiently for most likely another. He will find Kablooey. There's one more on red, though. And he falls as well. Plexios with a flank on a double. Costa finds the last one, and another flawless round for Akron Botanic. This series is looking like it's falling out of the way of Kennesaw.
Yeah, it might be a second place finish guaranteed here for the Owls. As Akron just absolutely playing no games, just demolishing Kennesaw every which way.
I mean, there's not a ton that Kennesaw can do to, change their fate, honestly, the way it's looking, but Swivel is still not matching backgrounds with his teammates. That's something that could have been changed while we were waiting, so rather disappointing if there is going to be something disappointing to come out of this game. Just horrible teamwork from Swivel, but anyway. Akron going down to Kitchen. Again, very, ordinary, quote-unquote, Akron setup. Looks like they're going to contest, Christmas side. Most likely with the smoke, Fenders again are super strong. Kennesaw not bringing, a Brava or even a Twitch to really deal with it. So most likely we're going to see multiple Fender mines go off this round, especially with, kind of how ratty Kennesaw likes to play on a bomb site like this. From Akron, kind of just doing everything right at the moment, not giving up literally any picks. No one has died yet, so have to see if that streak continues. Maybe we get the first ever, probably the first ever completely flawless game, or at least completely flawless defensive half. That still is possible.
Really, we'll be going on to the Monty. Kennesaw banning out Flash earlier means that really only Jobu could ruin Louis Day with a stun to perfectly knock the shield. But space, a lot of space already taken over by Big Bake, and they do have the rotate ready and open available for them. The Jet over from the second floor train room, perfect bird, looking into prep. Could snipe someone's feet, and this is a two-layer peak as both Plexios and Jet fighting that angle, going through prep. Essentially a death sentence, but somehow, in the meantime, space does fall. However, Jet managing to lurk in the wings so far, and Plexios over by dining as well. 55 left here in the clock, and with all this distraction caused up above by River, they will be diverting their attention from that prep vert just momentarily. Jobu still in the middle of the bomb site, just waiting for anybody to walk in through that rotate. I feel like Kennesaw should have just ran into the bomb site about 10 seconds ago, Tom. Oh, they will.
They do run into the bomb site. The Echo is down as well, so no yokai denial. Costa does find the planter somehow, so there goes Swivel. Smoke canisters go out. Looks like he might be aware of the Nomad awkward gunfight. Costa wins it off main Hayden, leaving it just up to Kablooey and Sotera. They, of course, know the Smoke is playing in cope. Canister goes out, shotgun in hand. Sotera maybe win the round back. Nope, now it's stuck in a 1v3. Kablooey just completely isolated on an island. Absolute miracle needed to bring this one back, but looks like he's just stuck and ultimately going to die to one of the Akron players. Costa does collect the final one. Costa again MVP of that round just for that stronghold in Coat, collecting multiple players. But Kennesaw had the right read there, honestly, if you're looking at it, just to go for the the quick hit bakery. They did send one player above. I think if River can find, I believe it was Plexios playing a zombie above, if he finds that pick as well, I really think Kennesaw gets the round, because they didn't have, really any info on him just running around. It was kind of unfortunate he didn't find Plexios, for him, but you don't hate the read there from Kennesaw. Regardless, now the flawless game dream is dead. Jobu and Space died. Good job. But Akron just completely dominating as they go up 3-0.
I mean, just even if River stays alive for about 20 seconds longer, that phantom pressure still would have been incredibly valuable. But the real criminal
aspect of the round is what Kosa is able to do by the walking closet. If anybody from Kennesaw had been watching those head holes for the swing, it would have been a guaranteed plant, and assuming they kill Kosa off the swing, well, practically guaranteed a round.
They're running a Monty as well, and they don't opt to smoke off coat where the head holes are. So they don't necessarily need to really go kill that player, especially, you know, swinging a shotgun's always a difficult task. If you are going to do it, it has to be, you know, kind of coordinated. You would have liked to see the player inside a kitchen swing at the same time, but anyway, Kennesaw down 3-0. Bringing the Aurora, we kind of see that for a cocktail take quite often. So we are enjoying the nice outside. Kosa not going to find anyone with his heartbeat scanner at the moment except Swivel's drone. We've seen in previous rounds where, sorry, Botanic, we've seen in previous rounds where, you know, Kennesaw finds out about the pulse of Kosa and they don't really do anything about it. So he may just get another double nitro this round, which would bring his total in the series, I think, to about 6. Just completely left on free reign. Jobu positioned for another nitro. Nobody home on Cocktail Repel for the moment. Jet fighting with this Izami of Plexios. So close. Gunfight comes out. Main Hayden actually wins that. There's the opener for Kennesaw. River drops as well. Map control secured. There's one of the Fenrir mines we've been talking about.
Fenrir mines carrying huge value so far, especially in that CS part of the map. But Jobu going to be lurking about by that hell door. Could catch someone from Kennesaw off guard. And that smoke. Oh my god, great arm over on Space. Does get rid of River. But Swivel at the precipice of the bomb site. Line call shows no extra information. At the very least, they know Jobu is lurking over by that pillar's side. It is Kablooey close by hell door. But now setting his sight directly onto that train. Swivel does fall, no refrag. Minute left on the clock here. Kablooey needs to act up in some fashion. Another line call going out. And just a very separated Kennesaw right now.
So trying to find some sort of pick. Main Hayden finally collects Space. 46 seconds left. Doesn't quite know where the case is going to go yet, Botanic. Main Hayden does have it in hand, possibly going for some sort of fireplace plan, but Jobu has the angle through the reading holes.
Yeah, I mean, all these footholds are just incredibly difficult for Kennesaw to navigate. In the last line call used without any real space taken. In the meantime, Kennesaw rotating back up to try and see if there's anybody they need to clear up top. Very good play, just do your due diligence, but they do manage to find the location of Jobu, but the C4 is going to be flying out, and Main Hayden gives his life away. 15 seconds left. Now, an incredibly winnable situation for Akron.
10 seconds remaining.
It's all going to be up to this Kaid of Jobu. He does find Sotera looking the wrong way, and now Kablooey completely off on an island. No avenue to get to the diffuser. This round is over. Akron 4-0, and they look completely destined to take AtlanticR6 Botanic. Absolutely dominant performance. 4-0. Yes, it's defense, but these rounds aren't really that close.
I mean, they were right. They were right there. They were right with. They were right there in the bomb site. All Kablooey really needed to do from hell door, just throw some nades towards the typical power positions. You know the entirety of dining is clear. There can only be so many spots over in reading where Akron could be hiding. A nade through just to that laundry reading rotate. That's basically guaranteed to force somebody to move.
I agree, and then you could also look at it and argue, well, okay, somehow Kennesaw just got above. Akron kind of just fell off. So when you have, you know, full control of top floor, there's an argument to be made that you should just go to plant reading because, you know, Main Hayden has the vert. I believe it's Main Hayden on gridlock, but whoever the gridlock is has the vert, has the rotate hole. You know, yes, there's a player back reading, but all you have to do is, you know, hold the vert on him. He has to swing out wide to do something, right? Unless he's gonna like go for some ridiculous flank pillar. So a little bit of a misread there from Kennesaw. And Akron, you know, as always, just playing fundamentally sound siege. That's all you can really say.
Yeah, that's why they're the Kings right now.
Okay.
That's not ready to go.
But around on surprising lack of the pulse. So no C4 from below to worry about unless Jobu hits an absolute zoom banger. Based on whatever info he has, but he's going to be playing directly into Cigar Shop. In the meantime, the run-out's going ablaze for Plexios. Finds a kill he absolutely shouldn't have. And Jet looking to recover whatever he can, maybe get more aggressive, but somehow, some way, it is Meinheiden dropping directly into Jobu's crosshairs and finding an equalizer, Tom.
Somehow we're at a 3v3 after Plexios goes for an Olympic level jump out. It looked like he was playing gymnastics that round. Again from Kennesaw, looks like just going full Cigar, no additional pressure. Kablooey does have diffuser in hand. Fender Mines are still up. No plant denial though from the side of Akron. If Kennesaw can somehow find their way into the bomb site. Looks like nice one tap Sotera.
Cheeky low trade. Big value from Sotera. Unfortunately, all that Zofia util does go down. Kablooey needing a lot of pressure over by this ticket window, and Meinheiden, as we know, still not alive anymore. A bit of a... Ooh, I don't even know what to say anymore, man. They're just running out at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we can sit here and talk about, Kennesaw obviously struggling all day, but I think it's more important just to highlight, how Akron's playing these situations. Some of these rounds are obviously getting pretty, pretty goofy, pretty loose. Kennesaw's kind of losing structural integrity, if you would. But Akron's just playing these situations correct. Multiple people are holding the player on window repel for ticket. So again, tradable gunfight. Somehow the ace found his way into the bomb site, but besides that, all these engagements are pretty much tradable for Akron, or at least they have info or a C4 for something, and that's really all you can ask of a team at this level is just make everything tradable. Hey, these guys are half trolling, half having fun, doing all kinds of interesting stuff. Let's just play trades and walk away with the chip, right?
Yeah, I mean, truly, you just gotta play a simple, structured rainbow, and you walk away with your chip.
I don't know the information on the prize pool, Botanic, if you may want to educate me and the viewers of what Akron's more likely than not going to win.
I don't know either.
So they're going to win something. They're going to win something.
Presumably enough for a nice hoagie, probably.
So what you're saying is, all Akron has to do is win 2 rounds, and they'll get a hoagie play. I'm so confused. Where was that?
That was over by stage side, stage window.
Oh, he killed a player, River Dogs. Okay, I was so confused with that jump out.
Let's proceed.
Okay, well, Meinheiden's dead, and the Hoagies are looking like they're going to Akron, Ohio, Botanic.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sure they'll hit your favorite place ever. Ruckers. Wait, is that what it's called? Rudders?
Rudders.
Rudders, there we go. Rudders, not Ruckers. That's a school. There we go. The Plexio's finally down and out. But space leading into the tank is interesting to Frank. How we're so man of the hour from map 1 finally making an appearance here when it's needed most. And his face left limping. It could be kind of on the precipice of getting the first map here. Working in the wings of that match the sky. Now finally they're smoking off that post. They have to the Coast walk up space in a Joku just trying to fly in Echo Joke, trying to deny the plant. It is Costa looking back into the bomb side, but he's right now. However, he doesn't hit the shot. Only Joku left standing in Kennesaw at the end of the half. They managed to find their first round bomb.
Botanic? I don't know if it's you or me, but it sounded like a robot was calling that round. So, Kennesaw maybe. Oh,
it's very much you.
Is it? I don't think so.
Oh, we're all lagging.
What? Oh, so. Well, sometimes you lag.
Oh, you sound normal again.
So it is you.
Need to locate and defuse
Wow.
as many bombs as they can.
We're back! I like how Kennesaw getting around disrupted the 5G so much. It lagged out our computers.
Attackers
The
have located a
AtlanticR6
bomb.
servers are going down, and it's all
Yeah.
Kennesaw's fault.
True. Because Cow Industries has enough money to pay for his own dedicated server for his own league. He's so
I believe
rich.
it.
Yeah, I mean, Pencil probably subsidizes the entirety of AtlanticR6.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds
Anyway,
to
we're
insertion.
back. Hopefully. But from Kennesaw switching over to the defensive half, yes, they get away with one attack, but it's looking like an extremely difficult task. We'll see this from Akron. This lineup indicates more maybe of a cocktail take than, you know, a direct cigar. When you talk about cafe, it's always, you know, the window pressure, right? Like having a player on having repel, a player on gen. Obviously, taking cigar requires, you know, multiple windows most of the time. So Akron, yes, it may be a cigar take, but you'll most likely see them, you know, a bit more spread out than we saw from Kennesaw.
A little bit, but we did see Swivel saying he had full intent to spawn peek, and him over in the DMR means he wants to hit fast and hit hard. But hopefully we can see a little bit more Kennesaw magic. Maybe even a second round in the pocket.
So Terra getting in a little bit of an early skirmish. Looks like Akron, again, just completely taking their time, analyzing the situation, getting set up like we've talked about on these windows, looking to pressure the player in cigar. I believe that's main height, and yes it is. Stuck next to the Christmas tree. Be safe for now. Utility goes out from the Sophia. Looking for the gunfight. He isn't moving at all. He looks completely safe in this spot. No one's dropped red quite yet. Wallbangs come through. There he goes. Jobu collects that kill, and a great clear from Akron.
Fantastic scenes right now for the Zips, and Sortera also falls. Minute 30 left on the clock here, and while, I mean, we've just seen the situation over and over again. Akron doesn't have the map control, but they have the picks.
Somehow Kennesaw is just falling. I mean, we saw main height and was completely just stuck. That was a great clear. And Akron, again, just didn't have a ton of map control, like you said. They just, you know, find a way to work these opening picks one at a time. Isolated defender. There's an isolation off of a pixel from space. Beautiful shot. Swivel goes down. Now 2v5 situation. All Akron really has to do is plan here. We'll have to see Kablooey and River get really aggressive if they want to win this round. Here goes the play from River. That gets shut down, and Kablooey stuck all by his lonesome. Will he find a kill on this player in cigar? Maybe. Awkward gunfight. He'll win it against Jobu, but possible situation for the moment being Costa collects the last one, and AtlanticR6 map point for Akron.
The entire series might be done in just a little over an hour. We did start streaming at 8:30 sharp, and it's now 9:38 p.m. Eastern. Akron on the verge of just completely sweeping every single chip so far. They still have NECC left to collect. And in terms of lands, Playflight Tournament Champions also lurking in the wings.
You know why this has gone so fast, Botanic?
Protect your bombs from being defused
Why?
by attackers.
Because you don't have a sponsor to talk about today. Normally you take at least a half hour to talk about the sponsor.
I just, I'm a very grateful person, and whatever madman wants to throw money inside of Rainbow Six, you gotta thank them, you know.
Yep, but nobody to thank except Akron
Shout out-
for
shout out
running
Rudders.
through this.
Let's thank Rudders.
Yeah, you know what, they're you know, they're great. I love Rudders. You have never been to one, but yeah, shout them out.
Yeah, you've shown me pictures of Rudders chicken tenders before. They look good. They look
I did?
cool. Yeah,
5
you
seconds
sent me a
remaining.
picture. Like 2 years ago.
Oh.
Attackers must locate
I
and
remember.
defuse the bomb.
I remember the Rudders.
I'm glad you remember. Looks like from the side of Akron, this might be a quick one. Again, with the Sens, we've seen them go for a lot of, you know, coordinated quick plays, maybe some sort of quick bakery take, but as we are back to our faces for some unknown reason.
Shout out Justin.
Shout out Justrillo.
But back to the game here. Anchor do a usual top-down take here. Plaxio's taking care of the hatches, instantly dropping to that red side now, making its way towards Lounge. Really, nobody from Kennesaw built that. Nobody from Kennesaw wanted to make any sort of aggressive foray. Well, maybe somebody climbing up with these red stairs right now. It's gonna be Swivel. Of course it's Swivel. Really the only person on Kennesaw to show any hints of aggression, any no diss, but any hints of confidence really in this game. But that excursion won pretty quickly as he's forced to hide back into the walking closet.
I mean, really quickly, as Swivel is telling Akron to get a job. From that I mean, from that spot, I mean, all you can do is really compliment Akron. I mean, look how well they played that. They're getting full vert. You know, they're not really worried about the flank. Why? Because there's a player on upside on rappel. Who in the right mind is expecting at this level someone to be on that upside on rappel holding red flank, right? So Swivel does get away with his life, but you know, a lot of other players are just gonna walk it mining and die there. Okay.
Thanks, Frank. I don't know why you listen to him, Rennie. But anyway, minute left on the clock now, and surprisingly, Kennesaw might be the ones with the man advantage. However, Shiver does fault. It is Plexio just crawling across that train room floor. But still, time, the only ally on the Owl's side so far. A pick would do them real good right now with Akron just lurking through this vert, looking for anybody from Kennesaw to over-aggress. And speaking of aggression, Mine Hyden might have that one in the cards, except he instantly gets discouraged by the track stingers. By Whiteside. Squad on the drone as well, forced to fall back. Might just be playing for a hatch drop now. However, Shovel managed to find one. Instantly fragged out by Space. And all the send balls will be going up. Steve gets swung by Kablooey. However, Sortera does fall as well. Now, it's only Kablooey left standing between Akron and another collegiate ship. Plant will be going down. Tons of vertical to navigate. It's pretty much a done deal here, but Jet down. And Plexios left limping in the bomb site with 1 HP. However, it's not going to suffice. As even though it's a trade, Akron's sheer body count prevails in the end. 7-1. Towards Akron Esports. AtlanticR6 Season 1 is theirs, Tom.
Absolutely, and well-deserved from Akron there. Of course, you'd like to see the game be a little bit closer, but you have to give your flowers to Kennesaw for making it that far. And in the early stages of the series, you know, making it look, you know, a little bit competitive toward the end, it got away from them. But all in all, a good game. My screen is absolutely lagging. I don't know if I sound like a robot or not, but regardless, Akron AtlanticR6 champions. And all you can really say is, you know, they played it. You're just smiling at me. You're just smiling at me. What are you doing?
I'm just glad to see some good old collegiate action. Is there something
Oh,
so
I'm so
wrong with
sure.
that?
No,
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
What?
Anyway, no, anyway, briefly, Akron again just played a solid series. Just, you know, teamwork, good utility play, standard Akron, learning what the other team is doing and adapting. That's just how it is. What are you doing?
What do you mean? I'm doing nothing.
You
You
could
don't like to
talk.
see a man smile? You don't like to see a man smile? Okay, never
No,
mind. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just finish your point.
No, all I was gonna say, Akron, just solid series, teamwork, utility, pretty much the same message as always, and that's that.
Yeah, I mean that's that. Unless we have an interview ready. I mean that's pretty much okay. Okay, we do have an interview with Plexio, so I don't know if we're gonna be shooting the break or just getting in right now. Okay, no, we're gonna be shooting to a break. So come back right after the break. We'll be talking to Plexios for like the umpteenth time of the semester. Stay tuned.
Payroll, rolling up the payroll. Really by my Gouda a lot, a lot. Big butt hump, a shot for shot. If you wanna scrap, pull up, baby. Egg roll, rolling up the payroll. I'ma pipe it up, I'ma heat it up. I'ma match your little shit, little buttercup. I ain't take no risk, only draw them hits. Racking with the condom, I'm gon' really say my shit. Please say, please, you rude bitch. When I speak, it's a sale pitch. Now I'm real rich. Mom, Repovich, now you under pressure. Diamonds never break, cause they real. These trend tracks, yeah, now I got a deal. Mix blue and green, yeah, baby, call it teal. I got money now. Did it with ease. Every single time I smell your bush, I sneeze. 1, 2, 3, yeah, I know my ABCs. WXYZ, yeah, suck on D. No one does it better, I'll admit it. Car key under pressure, I'll admit it. Oops, I changed the weather, I'll admit it. Baby, egg roll, rolling up the payroll. Really by my Gouda a lot, a lot. Big butt hump, a shot for shot. If you wanna scrap, pull up, baby. Egg roll, rolling up the payroll.
Tummy kinda hurting by the kid, it like a murder. Dipping while I'm sipping, I'm wishing I'm Timmy Turner. Turn up, my baby tripping, and baby no bucks. So tough, Timo is eating, you getting no lunch. Hold up, looking at the skyline. Feeling hella down, but like I'm fine. Pussy motherfucker got 9 lies. Phone looking gone on 9. Gotta be battling war, always been having it all. Motherfuckers talking, but they never did nothing before. Trippy been going on tall, drunk as a fish on the floor. Higher than medical gas, taking me straight to the morgue. I'm a dead man walking, getting too drunk, putting holes in the apartment. Homie so pissed at the kid, but I'm sorry. I'll admit it, I'm gone.
No one does it better, I'll admit it. Car key under pressure, I'll admit it. Oops, I changed the weather, I'll admit it. Baby, egg roll, rolling up the payroll. You really buy my good a lot. What? Big butt hump, a shot for shot. If you wanna scrap, pull up, baby. Egg roll, rolling up the payroll.
Just jumped off the flight. Just wrote a song. Hey, yeah.
Trip about the numbers, then I got them up. Get my eyes quite low, might just blame it on the cup. Yeah, it's mighty difficult, running at the blues. Can you keep up? You used to give a fuck, now I'm banking on some luck. Turned an average text, we left the flex and all the expensive stuff. Yeah, it's mighty difficult, running at the blues. Can you keep up? Blues clues, you mean the clues blues, right? I got some new shoes, any sketches with the electric tables do. I'm only dropping down on my don't tell me what to do. Let me finesse it how I like, I got a new whip, 3 wheels, diamonds on my track, I make a new hit. For real, like every other night, I'm on my tour shit. Yeah, you know I wrote this on the flight. Find me running after blues, I can't wait till they be in sight. Yeah, I'm running. Yeah, I'm running. Yeah, I'm running. Can you keep up, bitch? Trip about the numbers, then I got them up. Get my eyes quite low, might just blame it on the cup. Yeah, it's mighty difficult, running at the blues. Can you keep up? You used to give a fuck, now I'm banking on some luck. Turned an average text, we left the flex and all the expensive stuff. Yeah, it's mighty difficult, running at the blues. Can you keep up? Have you seen my bankroll? Talking about length, height, width, double dough. Drip drop from my ice, now I'm sold. Where's the towel, yo? You gon' learn some physics just to buy my flow, huh? Yeah, if I pop your bitches, please just let it go, bro. Yeah, too many vids and now I'm out of clothes, huh? Yeah, running after Benjis, this like all I know. Yeah, I'm running. 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 Can you keep up?
Who don't know nothing about
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to some more AtlanticR6. We're here with the victor of AtlanticR6 Season 1, Plexios. My first question to you is, tough game, huh?
Tough as always, you know how it goes.
Yeah, and obviously, another team taking you to Cafe. Are you shocked?
No, I mean, people saw that we lost on that, and they just assume we're not good on it, but it's actually, I'd say, one of our better maps at this point. And people always pick it against us, and then we get to defend first, and you kind of see how that usually goes, so.
Do you think people will eventually stop, or?
I mean, I think, to be honest, it's hard with, like, the way our map pool works, because a lot of the times it's, like, today, for example, in the map bands, the maps up are, like, border, chalet, bank, and that, so you can't really blame them for picking that. But I don't know, I mean, I think a lot of teams in Collegiate also like Cafe, because it's kind of just that simple map that a lot of teams lay back on. So, but it did seem like a pick against us specifically, because last week it was up and they didn't pick it. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess talking about the first map in the series, Chalet, Swivel was kind of body bagging you guys there for a little bit. He was the Kennesaw came off to a hot start, and I guess was it just like a bit of a slow start for you guys? Were you guys just kind of warming up into it? Because after a certain point, you guys just it seems like it just kind of clicked for you guys.
yeah, no, I'll definitely take full blame for those 2 rounds. The first one was the first round of the game. I literally was saying to my team, "Don't get spawn peeked," and I got shot in the head 2 seconds later. And then the other round we lost was he swung me while I was on highway with a shotgun. And then once I died, it got really awkward because people had to move everywhere. So just people dying in the wrong spots. And like that first round, I played big window the second time, and me dying the first time just made it super awkward. So that's definitely on me, losing early fights and making it hard for my team to kind of do the plan that we have.
Yeah, Tom, anything you really want to say about Chalet?
I was just gonna ask, what was the message at around, say, round 5 when the score was 2-2? Yes, you had gotten spawn peaked, but there's another round loss in there. Is there any sort of systematic change you guys need to do that you guys are talking about, like, oh, they're doing this, we need to do X thing? Is that kind of communication going on? If you could maybe give us a little bit of insight.
100%, because if you watch the 2 rounds we lost, it was both they put someone in a spot with some utility and we just struggled to clear it and kind of lost the round because of that. Lost fights because like the first round of the game, that dude never died on solar stairs the entire round. We kept dying trying to kill him. So we just were like telling each other we just got to do better at specifically solving the problems and just move faster. That one dining round we lost that I mentioned where I got shotgunned, it still came down to a 3v3, but I think we had like 25 seconds while we're on the top floor. So we just talked about just being more convicted with what we're doing, make the plan, go for it, and just be efficient.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And well, if efficiency was kind of the name of the game over on Cafe side.
Yeah, those first 2 rounds were brutal. I don't think they got a kill the first 2 rounds.
They didn't. They didn't.
Yeah. I mean, their pushes were just very dimensional. I mean, if you spawned in and were like, what is a team going to do typically on the site, they did it every time. So we didn't have to think too hard into it, and we were feeling ourselves getting aggressive, not even letting them get in the building. And that's kind of what happens on Cafe, and that's why it's hard to play against us on it, especially when we're feeling ourselves like we were today.
Yeah, you in
Yeah.
particular managed to jump out of piano window, I think 3 times, and net probably 6 kills somehow. So
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. I won't lie.
I mean, there were some nightmare setups from you guys over in the defense, especially for that kitchen defense. When you have Jet over in train room looking at the prep vert, but also you from the
On the hatch.
yeah, on the hatch. I think I'd rather go somewhere else than peak prep, but that
Yeah.
just goes to show the kind of the level of teamwork Akron Esports has shown this semester, and kind of, well, since there was no decider, let's talk about what's on the horizon for you guys. Obviously, NECC finals in the cards. I think it's Cumberland that's your opponent since Fisher was forced to
I
forfeit.
think it's Kansas State actually. Kansas State
Really?
University. Yeah. Cumberland lost to
Okay.
UND. Kansas State beat UND, and Fisher forfeited. So
Okay.
Kansas State.
Wow.
Yep.
Good old Uni in his first grand final in a while now. So glad to see him there. And obviously, Play Flight Tournament of Champions. How you feeling about that one?
Feeling good. The competition is the same teams we've been playing these past few weeks. So we're super confident going in. And we're super excited to play on land. It's my first land with the team. So we're looking to capitalize on it.
Any questions you have, Tom?
No, I'm all good. Congratulations on another Infinity Stone. What is this now? I believe 6.
6.
So,
I'm about to post with the Thanos stones. Don't you worry, Tom.
oh,
I
okay.
got you.
That's
Yep.
yeah, that's so
Yeah.
tough. That's so tough. But
That's so
anyway,
tough.
congratulations and good luck with NECC.
Thank you.
Yeah, of
Thank you,
course.
guys.
Yeah.
About the shit we be puffin', my music hot as an oven, like you just burnt your turducken, you love it. I've been above it, the influence I've been fucking with being sober. I'm tired of always being the drunkest. What you need from me? I got love, I got buzz. Do you want all the fun that my team running? I don't need money, but I love what I love from the ground to above. Always fiend for it. Everybody wanna come my way. Everybody wanna know my name. Drop it down to the ground while I blow propane. I don't need to do cocaine. All this energy I bring. All alone on my own, let freedom ring. I'm a great Dane, use a little pup, boy. Always talking, but I never gave a fuck, boy. I have decided I will stay alive for the ride. I'll be fine, the money is in my eyes.
Trip about the numbers, then I got them up. Get my